Hi guys. I'm just, I guess, recording this because it's an important message I think that's coming through right now. And I think many of you are going to probably just need this reminder. We've come to a point where many of us who are, in this position as a divine messenger, as a light worker, who really take the work seriously. I don't take this lightly. We're going to come across a lot of people who pretend to be spiritual or pretend to do the work. And they show up as our spiritual assignment, really, is what they are. So many of you are going to have this lesson, the spiritual assignment given to you. There's a lot of Pluto in Aquarius, dealing with people who we're offering our services to, who we're offering our guidance to. This is a reminder to be careful not to offer guidance, advice, something that is very valuable and you should take as valuable, to people who don't value it, who don't value, who don't appreciate, who don't even understand it because they haven't begun to do the work. And as much as they say they have, they haven't integrated. So it's important to really go back to the scripture of Jesus here, which the guides were leading me to, and it's, don't cast pearls before swine. So what does this mean? Stop wasting time by offering something that might be helpful and valuable to someone who doesn't appreciate or understand it. It's really hard because we lose a lot of people, and we tend to realize this only after having gone through the lesson. And it is a lesson for a lot of spiritual teachers out there, for a lot of light workers. We have to go through that lesson, that challenge, in order to come out on the other side and realize, oh man, like I thought that person really valued my insight or valued what I was doing. And I've had to cut ties with a lot of people who I thought really appreciated me, but then at the end of the day, I saw that they didn't give a shit about what I had to say. And that's too bad, because I gave them a lot of free readings, which they mostly never said thank you for, because they were in their own ego and they kind of spat on the messages, and they thought that I was the wrong one and they were the one in the right. And so this is what I mean. You have to make sure that the people you are addressing as an audience, even as friends that consider themselves light workers, are in a position to receive. They're in a healthy divine feminine energy. And a lot of people are not in their divine feminine energy. They're in their toxic feminine energy, where they're very manipulative, they project, and they reject the divine messages. So I had to learn the hard way, and it is time that we all learn this, and that we really see and consider our messages, our advice, our spirituality as something to be appreciated. And so if people do want our advice, well, then we have to really set that tone from the very beginning. And this is why I don't give out free advice to anyone at this point. This is my channel. I set it up that way. This is my spiritual work. The people who truly want to receive these types of messages, that again are coming from the highest of the highest. I only channel from beings of the highest light. I make sure to set myself up that way, because a lot of healers and channelers out there are channeling from beings that are in false light, that are pretending to be of the light, but they're not. So that's another message. Be very discerning of who you're watching here on YouTube or any other social media platform who is giving out messages, but Are they doing energy management? Are they cleansing? Who are the beings that they're channeling? Do they mention that? So be careful. With Pluto in Aquarius, Neptune in Pisces, we're going to have these things be revealed in the next few years about these false gurus and these healers and channelers and light workers who are not taking accountability for their own stuff. When you do this work for people and you work with clients and with people who are watching on social media, you have to be careful. You have to also do the work. You have to be in a place of accountability. You have to be open to receiving and to getting triggered and to working on your triggers. Projecting is not something that you should be always doing at this point. Projecting is not a good sign. As a healer, as a channeler, there's some unresolved trauma. And what happens is that when these healers step into projection in their own personal matters, right? They use projection as a way to cope and as a way to deal with things that feel threatening to their ego. They can't be of service to the divine. They can't. So that creates openings in their auric field for lower dimensional beings to access their field. And as a result, you're receiving that. You're on the receiving end as a client if you're receiving a healing or a clearing or a reading. So be very mindful, very mindful. This is why in the last, year, I had to stop coming on social media because I had to reevaluate how I was, interacting with others, how I was being too open with giving advice for free. And my advice should not be for free. It comes at a price. There should be an energy exchange. And if you think that these messages should be free, then you don't understand the concept of energy. It's a give and take. Nothing in life is free. It's a give and take. So, yeah. Be careful. There's a lot of narcissists out there, unfortunately. Narcissists don't like to hear the truth. Narcissists are very triggered by the truth. They're very triggered by people who live in integrity and who are very honest. And so recently I've been, noticing that my, subscriptions have been going down, and I asked why, and I kind of knew because I've been very intentional about clearing my energy, and also the energy of my YouTube channel is very, very important. Just because it's not a tangible thing. The YouTube channel is an entity. It carries a consciousness. Every social media platform carries a consciousness, so you need to cleanse it and clear it and make sure it's always being supported by, beings of the highest light. So that's what I've been doing. I've been, really sitting down with my angels, the archangels, cutting cords, cutting agreements, and all these things that have been really making me feel drained, brain foggy brained, and just unable to feel centered and in alignment. So as soon as you start cutting cords energetically, like I said in a previous live, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose, these types of energies because you asked for them to be cut and removed from your energy field, from whatever it is that you want clearing from. So respect yourself, respect the job that you do. If you are watching and you're a light worker, in whatever profession where you give, where you're offering a service and you're offering advice, stop trying to save your friends from toxic relationships, toxic marriages, whatever the case may be. I've had to learn the hard way. And sometimes it's just best to just step away, step out of that energy, step out and be on your own for a little while, reassess the type of person you want to be, what kind of energy you want to be around, and ask your angels, ask your guides to help you redirect you towards people who are open, who are willing to open their hearts and their minds to receiving spiritual services or whatever it is that you offer that is in your highest integrity. So if you're feeling burnt out and drained, this is an indication to really start cutting cords, clearing your energy, calling in Archangel Michael, calling in all the archangels at this point to help you rebalance your energy field. And no hard feelings. And this is, you know, something that I've had to learn too, is that you can't carry around this grudge, this energy of anger and resentment. It's okay to feel it. It's very important to acknowledge when you are carrying resentment. You can't bypass these emotions. You got to start from the bottom of the emotional scale, okay? So if you are feeling anger and resentment and bitterness, then, you know, really sit with that and move through that. Because it's those emotions that you have stuck in your energy field that have been attracting those types of narcissists who are miserable and who do not want to make any changes, or very resistant to change, and they just want to be stuck in the matrix. They want to be stuck on that treadmill, and they want things to be predictable all the time, and they want to expect tarot readers to tell them things that they only want to hear. I want only good news. I haven't done 1 ounce of work. Although I think I did. I convinced myself that I did do some inner work just because I'm a light worker and I'm a Reiki healer. Yeah. These are people who just want to stay stuck in the illusions because it's safer there and it's okay. And we send them lots of love and lots of healing and compassion. It's very hard to address our darkness. We're all made up of dark and light. We have to address both. And so if we want the light, well, we got to shed light on the dark. And it's hard to to really acknowledge that we're feeling resentful, that we're feeling bitterness, and that we've been projecting our fears and our insecurities onto others who've been just wanting to help us. But it's not our responsibility to show them the way and to convince them. In the month of February, if you are a spiritual practitioner of any sort, where you're offering spiritual offerings, it might be slower. You might have less clients, just less activity, because again, February is a month of sacred pause, sacred space. So it's going to be important to do that shadow work for some of you, because the astrology is indicating that there's some shadows there in the collective that need to be acknowledged. There's some triggers. There's some resentment. There's a lot of this, I want revenge, and I want this person to pay, and I want justice. Again, Venus is at its detriment, being the ruler of the South Node. The South Node is our karma. What kind of justice are you going to get? Ooh, the justice that will be served is you serving your own justice. You taking your own accountability for what you have done, for the choices you have made. So that's the only way to balance the scales when the South Node is in Libra. There's no other way of having justice in the way your ego wants justice, right? So just be mindful of that, and be kind to yourself, because you will be losing people, losing subscribers, and your ego is gonna take it hard at first, and that's okay. It's part of the journey. It's part of the feeling journey of acknowledging what comes through. But this too shall pass, Spirit is saying. And remember, once we make that commitment to being on our highest timeline, then we must really expect that Spirit's just going to take away things. And we have to just be okay with it. And be honest and be compassionate towards ourselves and have more grace towards ourselves. We might not be for everybody, and that's okay. We are in a process of realigning with our highest timeline. And this takes time, takes the right energy, and it takes a lot of commitment and intention. So Don't be too hard on yourself. This is a process. Trust where spirit and the energy is taking you, always. So I'm going to end it here at 15 minutes. I'm hoping that these messages resonated. Don't waste your time. Don't waste too much time and precious time and energy on focusing on the narcissists out there. They need love. They need a lot of love and a lot of therapy. But like all of us, I think we all need to give back to ourselves with a lot of love, therapy, spirituality. And so yeah, sending you lots of love your way. And I will be back very soon. Have a good day, night, wherever you are.